My name is Judy Gibbs and I'm a local government officer. I work for Worcestershire County Council. Local government does a number of things to support its residents. So we support Worcestershire residents with many things such as emptying the bins, repairing the potholes, helping people to get planning permission for extensions, etc., as well as large construction projects like new bridges around the county, all the way to planning education for young people in education settings such as schools and FE colleges. So I am Head of Service for Skills and Investment, and what that does is we look at what skills we need in the county and how we're going to get those from our own programmes, but also from our wider partnerships. So what I really like about my role is that I get to kind of see the impact of the work that we're doing on the ground and the difference that that makes to residents. You know, if I were kind of working in the highways team, actually being able to see that you've put that new bridge in place or you've opened that new road and the difference that makes to residents is really satisfying. For me, it's things like the events that we do. So we do events for young people, we do events for job seekers, and we do events for young people in schools. And all of those, you know, seeing the young people being able to think about what their next steps are, it's really fulfilling. So for me, a typical working day is a combination of factors. So I have a lot of meetings, as you probably expect. I have a lot of plates to juggle. I see myself very much as being a bit of a project manager with some specialism for skills and education. So I'll have meetings and I'll then have a number of actions to do from those meetings. I need to make sure that I inform both stakeholders and residents about what it is that we're doing and the direction that we're going. And I have a team that I'll need to manage. So I'll manage my team on a daily basis and I'll support them to be able to do whatever it is that's required to meet those project needs and to fulfill those projects. For my role, I would say the most important skill that people need is to be a really good communicator. So to be able to communicate quite difficult messages, whether that's because actually they're really quite challenging terminology that we need to break down so that everyone can understand that, whether it's because there's some legislation that's come in and we need to be able to understand how to interpret that and to make that into reality. But also to work with that wider group of stakeholders so that they understand the direction we're going in and they're fully on board with that strategy. Alongside that, I would say organisation's really key. You know, I have a lot of plates to juggle. I have lots of different projects. So each one of those plates I need to keep going. I need to be able to kind of ensure that that project continues. So I need to be quite organised, I need to be able to meet deadlines, which also brings me on to time management. You know, there are only so many hours in the day and we need to be able to complete the tasks that we have. So we need to be really effective in the way that we spend our time. So I would say right now, if you were in school and you wanted to kind of progress into a local government role, I would say anything around kind of business studies and economics would be a good way to look at this. Also, I think IT, it's probably user IT skills are probably something that you could develop. Aside from that, I'm not sure there's a specific subject that would lead you into a local government career. I think it's more about having some of those rounded, good English, good maths skills, as well as things like business studies, etc. So I've worked at the County Council for 10 years this year, and actually when I first came into the County Council I went through an interview process. So I applied for a role, I had to submit an application form, I went through an interview, I had to do a presentation in the interview, and I answered some interview questions. That's how I got my first role. And then throughout my time at the County Council, I've had to go through again various kind of interview processes, some quite formal, some informal, to kind of progress myself to being a head of service within the County Council. So I have a postgraduate qualification. I've got a level 7 in strategic business management and leadership that I did at an FE college whilst I was working. I also went to university part-time whilst I was working, and I went through that route way in business management. Alongside that, I have project management qualifications as well, so I am Prince 2 qualified, and then I've done a number of various training courses over the years to support my growth and my skills and knowledge expansion within my role. Over the length of my career in different roles, I've realised that I have really good organisation skills. So I've always been really keen to do things that will support matching of something with something else. So in this case, it's about how do we support residents to meet the needs of business. I also am really good at being able to create ideas, develop ideas, and bring those forward. So in terms of this role, when I saw this role, it gave me the ability to be able to support both residents and businesses to grow their skills, and that was something I was really passionate about, so that's why I wanted to do the role. So working in local government, there are many different pathways because it really depends on what you specialise within. So my role is quite unique, but if, for instance, you wanted to work in the infrastructure team where they're where they're building bridges and supporting the transport networks, the skills and the qualifications required in that area would be quite different to, say, social work. But as a local government officer, I think there are pathways into the county council where you can do an apprenticeship, you can come in with a graduate basis, or you can just simply, you don't necessarily have to have those qualifications. There are lots of different opportunities in the county council, and you can progress once you are within the county council. I think local government is a really good opportunity for individuals. There's a lot of different places to go, a lot of different careers within local government to pursue. I would encourage anyone to have a look at doing something like a more generalist qualification. So looking at project management, looking at business leadership alongside a specialism. So for instance, if you want to, if you want to do social work, yes, there's a career in social work, but as you go up the ladder, you will need more of those management and those business skills to be able to do that. And that's the same across most areas of the county council and within local government, where you'll need specialist skills initially, but you then need to be able to develop some of those management and leadership, business leadership skills to move forward.